What the heck is this? We're doing brand deals now, huh?
Chad, it makes sense.
Sheesh! Just because we're both cut from the same stuff of American legends, right here in the good old US of A?
Kinda.
Just because we're both for America, by America? Just because Hulk Hogan's Real American Beer is 100% American made?
Yes, Chad. Yes.
No, thank you.
Thank you.
MD3, the most advanced body panels on the market. Aerodynamically engineered, manufactured from the highest grade and lightest weight materials, tested tough for optimum performance. The highest quality and most durable products you'll find anywhere. Our products help racers around the world reach victory lane. Winning never looked so good. MD3, the #1 body choice for top dirt racers.
This November, dirt racing's most celebrated stars will shine the World of Outlaws World Finals. It's 4 huge days of racing and entertainment. All dirt roads lead to Charlotte as the World of Outlaw NOS Energy Drink Sprint Cars, World of Outlaws Real American Beer Late Models, and Super Dirt Car Big Block Modifieds collide. The World of Outlaws World Finals, November 5th through the 8th at the Dirt Track at Charlotte. Be there. Now showing the World of Outlaws Real American Beer Late Model Series, presented by DIRTVision. Featuring the best drivers, biggest races.
Fantastic start! The Reaper strikes! He wins the 2025 season opener!
And best coverage of dirt late model racing.
My name is Ashton Smythe. I'll be covering all of the action.
Powerful late models on the planet!
DIRTVision is home to the greatest shows on dirt.
$60 exciting laps on the docket and $20,000 going home to the winner here tonight after crowning a winner of the Hawkeye 100 here at Maquoketa Speedway. Welcome into the World of Outlaw Real American Beer Late Models presented by DIRTVision. My name is Ashton Smythe, and I'll be covering all of the action happening down trackside tonight, joined up in the booth in just a little bit by the voice of the World of Outlaw Late Models, Ruben Morales. And whether you're joining us here in Iowa or watching at home on DIRTVision, thank you so much for spending your Saturday evening with us. Now, Mother Nature not on our side yesterday, unfortunately causing a rainout as we saw some pretty heavy storms moving through the area late yesterday. But today, absolutely gorgeous day. It is a hot one, sun out and shining, high 80 degrees. A little bit chance of rain around 16%, but shouldn't affect us moving forward into tonight. And all the drivers on property are ready to go racing. But the last time we were in competition with the World of Outlaw Real American Beer Late Models was 2 nights ago to continue this Illinois-Iowa swing where we made our second stop of the trip at Spoon River Speedway for the first time in series history. Bobby Pierce picked up the win that evening, and if you weren't able to join us, here are those highlights.
Dennis Erb Jr., Bobby Pierce set the pace to the race, and for the first time in series history, the Outlaws rumble in the banks of the Spoon River. We're underway. Not a good start for Pierce. Dennis Erb Jr. Gonna take the early race lead, but here comes Squirrel to his inside. They'll go Hoosier to Hoosier down the back straightaway for the race lead. Shirley trying to lead lap 1. Dennis on the top side, and he's gonna lead it in the 28. Shirley to the inside for the lead. It's still Dennis Erb Jr. But they're dead even into turn number 1. Dennis Erb has it on the top side. Shirley down low, down the back straightaway, side by side for the lead. Dead even into 3. Dead even off of 4. Who leads it at the line? Dennis Erb. But just barely. 9/1,000th of a second. Now Shirley gonna slide there in turn number 2. There you see it on DIRTVision into turn number 3. Tanner down low. Now Shepard looking to the inside of Dotson. Dotson way high on the racetrack. Tanner English, the early Fox Factory hard charger, up 5 positions from 12th to 7th. The 5th spot, the trouble. We got 3 cars in turns 1 and 2. Brett Larson, Jason Wagner, and Robin Huffman. Brian Shirley leads us here, 8 laps in this 40-lap feature. We're back underway. Shirley leads, Dennis Erb Jr. second, Bobby Pierce back around Babb for the 3rd position. Shannon Babb runs 4th, Dotson 5th. Tanner English going to the inside of Shepard. Down the front straightaway. How about the Coleman Farms Racing number 96 of Tanner English? He is rolling here tonight. A 32. Loves an Illinois cushion. And here we go, dual box on DIRTVision. We got a lot happening. Tanner English to the inside of Dotson. He's gonna get the position. He's up to 5th. Now the Fox Factory hard charger. Pierce gonna try to take 2nd, and he's got it. And at turn number 3, Shirley gasses it up on the top side. He holds him off. Oh, and a hard break for Tanner English. Shirley down low, Pierce up high, down the front straightaway. And still, Brian Shirley. Jason Fager still in 3rd. Pierce slides up the racetrack. Those 2 side by side for the lead, and into turn number 3, Pierce gonna take the lead. He'll slide up the racetrack and off of 4. New race leader, Bobby Pierce. Hasn't won since Sharon, the beginning of July. He looked human for the last couple outings with the Outlaws, but tonight, back to video game mode. Pierce with his 39th career World of Outlaws victory.
It had been a little while since Bobby Pierce visited Outlaw Victory Lane, but he did it for the 8th time this season just a few days ago at Spoon River Speedway, and was the first trip in series history, and another place that Bobby Pierce had never won at before in Outlaw competition, obviously with it being the first in series history. But Maquoketa Speedway, another place he's never won at Outlaw competition. But that 32 machine always has speed every single time he rolls through the gates here. But like I said, he's never won here in Outlaw competition. But if we look at his stats from those 8 wins out of this year, including the win from Spoon River the other day, 6 out of 8 of his wins have come at racetracks that he has not won at in Outlaw competition before this season. Well, now rolling back through Maquoketa Speedway, like I said, every single time he comes here, he has speed. If luck can go his way, will we see Bobby Pierce visit Victory Lane tonight? Time will only tell. But visited Victory Lane here at Maquoketa Speedway earlier this year at the Nippy 50, as well as last year in the Nippy 50 as well, and had the speed last time we were here last year at Maquoketa Speedway until with 13 laps to go, that right rear blue took out a brake line. He was able to salvage a decent run out of it, but an absolute heartbreak. But going forward in tonight, Bobby Pierce feeling very confident, loves this racetrack, and excited to continue his championship points battle.
Yeah, so last Outlaw race here, did have a flat tire that kind of ruined our night. Took out a brake line too, so got the tire changed, but went back out there, had no brakes, but we still got up to like 7th or something, so still salvaged a decent night out of it. And then we came back here earlier this year in March or whatever at the Nippy 50 and won both nights. So if we can keep the streak going, you know, we're on 2 in a row here. So going into tonight, I feel like this track is going to be slightly similar to Spoon River. Obviously, Spoon has a lot more banking, but it's about the same, you know, track size. And you know, we made some more notes with the car and kind of I think we have a good feeling on it. But there's a lot of good cars here in the pits, so we kind of keep going back and forth. Like, you know, I'll have some good nights, and then Nick will have some good nights, and you know, Gustin went and won Cedar Lake, and you know, that's the way it goes. But if we can kind of, I know I was talking about this like a couple weeks ago, I was saying if we can keep like a good safety net, that'd be great. But then I feel like when I said that, then I lost a lot of points. So we'll see. We'll just keep trying to win these races and do our best out here, see what we got.
Keep your eye on the smooth operator in the 32 machine here tonight, looking to get his first win in series history here at Maquoketa Speedway. But a driver who's visited it here at Maquoketa before is the 3S of Brian Shirley. And he also has momentum on his side, which is huge, especially rolling into a racetrack as racy and the field of competition we have here tonight in the pits at Maquoketa. Flashback to last year, first visit in series history, 2-day trip. Brian Shirley visited Victory Lane both times here at Maquoketa Speedway as part of his late half of the season charge. Well, the past few weeks, Brian Shirley hasn't necessarily been where he's wanted to after picking up that PDC win. We saw him battle some B-main issues, some race car issues, all sorts of bad luck issues. But the last time we were in outlaw competition over at Spoon River Speedway, he picked up a podium finish, which is what he needed going into this weekend. Back here at Maquoketa Speedway, Squirrel's looking to do the same thing that he did and accomplished last year, and we'll see if he does it. But we caught up with him earlier on about how he's feeling about being back here, and here's what he had to say.
Yeah, I think it was just one of those places we're lucky enough to hit on the right setup at the just, unloading with good speed, being able to critique that through the night, and then obviously going back to back helped us just have a good rhythm there. And then it was just one of those deals that, like I said, just coming out, unloading, it's a lot easier when you unload with speed than when you don't. So anytime you can unload with speed, we were carrying a lot of some of that good vibe from, switching cars and stuff. And then obviously we've been here earlier this year, and I think we ran second or third and fourth. And so I don't want to feel overconfident, but I definitely feel good that we should be able to fight for the win and at least top 3, top 5. The biggest thing is just when things change. Things have changed a little bit this year with the tire, things like that. So the notebook is still great, gives you a decent balance, but we're still trying to find our way where we feel comfortable in the right rear still. It's been a little tougher than normal with this tire. So I feel good. I feel like we're still chasing a little bit of something, but in certain conditions, I do feel like we got the speed to win.
Brian Shirley continuing to grow that notebook every single time he hits the racetrack. And like I said, Bobby and both Brian Shirley have that momentum on their side, huge going into here tonight. But not all the drivers in the pit area can say that. And some guys have had a spell of bad luck recently as well. And let's talk about some of those. Nick Hoffman in the 9, we saw on Thursday at Spoon River Speedway, blew a motor during qualifying, set down a good fast lap, but then had to immediately move into that backup car. Well, yesterday, swapping the motor and back out. They were ready to go last night, so new motor in that race car, and we'll see hopefully no more issues for Nick Hoffman, but he's not the only one. Ethan Dotson in that 74X in the ASD Motorsports, a crew chief change as of recently. Ethan Dotson, Nick, and Brady, and all the guys over at ASD just kind of handling that 74X right now, but not exactly happy with how they've been performing as of recently, and a change had to be made. Ryan Gustin as well, another driver that we've seen just has had bad luck back to back, especially following the Cedar Lake USA Nationals win. Well, they think something's been wrong with the car, not exactly sure, and taking yesterday to basically, they told me, change everything except the chassis, the motor, and the driver. So basically a whole entire new race car in the 19R, and we'll see what Ryan Gustin can do with that here tonight, and if that fixed some of those issues. And then another driver picked up the win Wednesday night at Highland Speedway, but then moving into Spoon River Speedway, a jack shaft in the rear end broke, ending Tanner English's good run for the night as he just continues to have that bad luck streak. But keep your eye on all those drivers back on property here today. Use that off day yesterday to their advantage to do some extra work to the race cars and hopefully have all of that, those bad luck and car issues out of the way and moving into this weekend. Lots to look at here tonight, but before we kick off racing action, let's take a quick second to look at the order of events. Not only are the Outlaws on property, we also have 3 support classes here. The stock cars, the sports mods, and the modifieds. And the stock cars kick off the racing action with their hot laps, followed directly by sport mod hot laps. Then the World of Outlaw Real American Beer late models take to the racetrack for their hot lap session, followed by the modified hot laps, and then Outlaws back out for their qualifying session. We then take a quick break from on-track action for opening ceremonies before the stock car roll out for their heat races, followed by the World of Outlaw Real American Beer late model heat races, 4 heats, 8 laps apiece, top 2 to the ever-important redraw later on tonight. Then Sport Mod and Modifieds will have their heat races before that redraw will take place. Then the Outlaws back on the racetrack for their last chance qualifier. We'll take a quick intermission for some track prep before the stock car and modified last chance showdowns roll out onto Maquoketa Speedway, and then it is feature racing action time. Starting with the World of Outlaw Real American Beer late model feature, 60 laps the distance here tonight for the stock car feature, sport mod feature, and then the modified feature to close out the night. Like I said, my name is Ashton Smythe, and I got you covered with everything happening down here on the grounds today. But Ruben, you're up in the booth. Look how cool this trophy is. Someone will be adding this to their collection here tonight as a winner of the Hawkeye 100. And Ruben, I know we've been talking about it. This racetrack holds a very, very special place in my heart. Just a year ago, I pit reported my first World of Outlaw Real American Beer late model race here at Maquoketa, and I'm very excited to be back.
Yeah, good evening to you, Ashton. So happy to have you on board. You get me excited with the stats and the stuff that you bring to the table as a pit reporter, and honestly, you've fit in like a glove, Ashton. Good job to you, and congratulations. 1 year later, glad to have you as the official pit reporter for the World of Outlaws. We will get down to you shortly later on tonight, but we are ready to rock and roll with hot laps here in just a few moments for the IMCA stock cars. Up next will be that, and then the sport mods, as Ashton mentioned. Then we'll have late models. 32 World of Outlaw entries checked in here this evening. We'll have Group A, B qualifying, 16 cars in Group A and 16 cars in Group B. They'll qualify for 4 heat races tonight, taking the top 4 directly to the feature. 5th on back go to the 2 last chance showdowns. We'll have our top 8 redraw, the 2 last chances, and then get ready for 60 laps, $20,000 to win, and $1,500 just to start here tonight at Maquoketa. Also on the card, as Ashton mentioned, IMCA stock cars, they have 34 entries. IMCA sport mods have 22 entries, and the IMCA modifieds 31 entries here tonight for the World of Outlaws Hawkeye 100 presented by D&E Services. A lot of marketing partners helping here at Maquoketa Speedway. Of course, Jeff Hoker, Ricky Kai do a great job. On the late model portion, we have a lot of them. Hot Laps sponsored by HD Equipment. Pit Crew Barbecue helping out with a quick time. Heat 1, of course, is Real American Beer Heat, but presented by Fisher Farms. Heat 2, Stack Products, presented by Century Industries, thank you to them. Heat 3's Kaiser Manufacturing, presented by Yankee Run Farms, and Heat 4, of course, Jarrett Rifles Heat 4, but this one presented by Matson Trucking. Our last chance showdowns, of course, sponsored by Landa Pressure Washers, but they are supported by Eastern Iowa Overhead Doors. Victory Lane, sponsored by Low Voltage Solutions. Our caution, of course, Dave Warren Power Sports, but also sponsored by Trix Utility Services. Checkered Flag is C&J Trucking. The Start Zone, Hooker Logistics. Hard Charger tonight, thank you to Gator Express. They put the money for lucky 8th place. 8th place is going to get $250 from Gator Express. With the rain out last night, Gator Express now putting that $250 towards Hard Charger tonight for the late models. They will still give money as well for lucky 8th place, and the 13th place finisher in memory of Dusty Kai, presented by Maquoketa Speedway. Those are extra marketing partners. There's a lot other extra marketing partners as well, but those are the ones helping out in the late model portion. And again, thank you to D&E Services for being the presenting sponsor. Thank you to all the fans that came out today to the autograph session. And of course, congratulations to our cornhole tournament winners, winning tickets to the World of Outlaws World Finals. Make sure to get your tickets before the end of August to get that free fan pit pass. And thank you to everyone that bought toys for the Toys for Tots to fill the Hoker Semi. Thank you to everyone for that. And of course, the Lions Club for the delicious lunch and breakfast for you fans that went out there. Joining me in the booth, Jason Frummelt and Jason, Maquoketa Speedway. That's just one amazing thing that amazes me. Not only the racing, but the support that this event gets.
Yeah, the amount of people we've got here camped out across the grounds, the people that are parked from stem to stern across this place.
Yep.
We're set to have a packed grandstand here as we get set to roll them out onto the Speedway. QC Autoplex stock cars making their way onto the Speedway for a hot lap session here tonight, 34 deep. The greatest across the heartland signed in. We'll get you familiarized with the cars and stars of our stock car class here. A little bit of track prep still looming along here. We start to make our way out onto the Speedway. The 16 car working his way down the back straightaways. Casey Schillem from just north in Dubuque. 20S car, that is Brandon Schmidt, Beaver Dam, Wisconsin. You see him on the screen right there working down the back straightaway. Jason Rickers out of Belmont, Wisconsin with us in the 61 car. The Hockaday boys out of Erie, Illinois are with us. Tanner Allen out of Springville, Iowa, the Double Deuce. Tucker Bordendorfer out of Muskego, Wisconsin, the 05 car. Timmy Current from right here in the big city of Maquoketa working down the back straightaway in the 20T. Jeff Hoker and Jay Hawthorne owned car number 20T. Ricky Thornton Jr. will pilot that. in a couple of weeks at the $100,000 to win stock car event at the Dodge Motorsports Park. David Brandy's here with us out of Wilton, Iowa in the 71 car. Both the Wells boys are in the house. Cade Wells, affectionately known as Fuzz, behind the wheel of the 23K, excuse me. Keegan Wells out of Wilton behind the wheel of the 23W. Mitch Morris strapping up behind the wheel of the M80 car, working off into turn number 1. Austin Miners out of Polk City, Iowa. You see on the screen right there the 8 machine. Sharp looking race car. Lots of good ones, the stock cars, America's favorite form of motorsports. Here with us tonight, Bone Larson behind the wheel of the 12-team machine. Stock car is going to do a little bit marching along here, get everything rolled up and ready to rock for our hot lap session. Looks like we're going to line them up into 4 qualifying heat races and a B feature to wrap out our 24-car starting field here tonight. QC Autoplex, IMCA stock cars. Ruben, we were talking pre-race, just sidebar, you and I, about the heat here this afternoon. Yeah. It is plenty warm.
Yeah, it really is. And of course, with the heat, you know, Ricky Kai wants to make sure the track don't dry up and add some moisture to it. So that's why we're taking the couple extra minutes just to make sure we get it rolled in nicely. And of course, Iowa known for some of the best races, you know, in the country weekly. And of course, the World of Outlaws is going to put on a good show as well. Just making sure the track is good here, Jason. It's been a hot, grueling day, but the good news, all these teams recharged and ready to go after an off night last night.
Absolutely good stuff going on here. Speaking of the temperature, make sure you keep yourselves hydrated. Keep an eye on the guy next to you. Make sure everybody's doing good there. It's plenty warm. We got to keep ourselves safe and take care of the cat next to you. Stock cars looking like they're just about ready to rep into their hot lap session. The Sport Mod's going to be up next. Modifieds will follow that, and then we'll turn the volume up just a little bit. Those of the folks that did not tune in with us yesterday, post time, thunderstorm. Yeah. About 3/10 of an inch. Not an incredible amount of rain, but it did stretch itself out over at least a couple-hour period. Just too much to handle, too much to get worked in, and too much to hold last night's show. So we're going to do us a little one-day soiree here. The big one, the Hawkeye 60 is going to be the official.
Yeah, right, Hawkeye 60. But, you know, hats off to everyone. Of course, it's a tough decision to make, Jason. We don't want to cancel. We don't want to, you know, we want to race. We're racers. We're here for one thing, and that's to get the shows in, and, of course, for the fans. But there's so much water landing, you don't want to have the cars out there packing forever and, then tear equipment up or things like of that nature, you know what I mean? And
yep, it was the only decision to be made.
Yes, that's right. And
wasn't the popular decision, and they certainly didn't want to make it, but it was the only option.
And Ricky Kai, he was ready. He's like, I get this thing in. It wasn't that. It's just, a lot more to it. And of course, you raced last night. It'll run up the track right, and then today would be bad. But today
extra
we'll
have
exactly, extra work and more tore up stuff. So you said, you know what, this is just the right decision, and it's just continue raining. There was no really big window there.
Yep.
So, hats off to everyone here for making it happen. Jason, still a lot of other great sponsors that support Maquoketa Speedway outside of the late model stuff as well. Modified sponsor, Ascendance International, thank you to them. The Friday night after party last night still happened. The band performed. That was presented by RLM Transportation. Thank you to them. All hot laps are sponsored by HD Equipment as well. Thank you to TCE, the stock car sponsor, by the way, a QC Autoplex. Thank you to QC Autoplex for sponsoring the stock cars this weekend, as well as Peterson Insurance Co-op. The Kids Zone, thank you to all the kids that participated today. They had a bouncy house, water balloons, and all the fun stuff down there. That was sponsored by Maquoketa State Bank today. Also, some banner sponsors, thinking of Timber Lanes and Opie's Bar and Grill. Canal for the use of equipment. The car show trophies. The car show happening earlier today. Those trophies were sponsored by Ed Morse Chevrolet and GMC. Sport mod sponsor and heat races. Is that Waffles?
Wiffles Hybrids.
Yeah, Wiffles Hybrids. And of course the stock car hard charger tonight, the Rusty Barn. Thank you to all them for supporting this great event. Josh Geigel also threw in $500 for a modified Heat Race 1 and 2 sponsorship, and also $500 with Marcus. And finally, Midwest Dirt Diva is also sponsoring this event. So thank you to all the great marketing partners that hopped on board to support this weekend and make it a success. Last year we had fun 2 nights. Hey, this year, it's all right. Hey. Just get one, but exciting news to come.
Oh, foreshadowing, you say?
Yes.
So, racetrack coming to life. Just about to get ready to wrap up our little roll-in session as we start to see some throttles pick up. Stock cars, sport mods, modifieds will be our hot lap order for your support classes before we turn the wick up just a little bit. 34 cars signed into the pit area here tonight. We'll break them off into 4 qualifying heat races. 1B feature. Give us our 24 car starting field here tonight. QC Autoplex, IMCA stock cars. Good looking crop of cars on hand across our other classes. Sport mods, 22 cars deep in the modifieds. The Ascendance Truck Center's modifieds here with 31 entries. So they'll go 4 qualifiers and a B as well. Lots and lots of good race cars on hand here tonight. 119 was the last count across our 4 classes. Those of you here with us on the ground, still time to get on the horn, get your family and your friends out here. Weather is starting to cool down and chill out just a little bit. It's going to get real nice, decent breeze blowing across our backs here, the south side of the Speedway.
And that breeze is pushing the smell of the barbecue. Jason, I'm getting hungry.
I'm telling you what.
Ooh, some good stuff. Jeff Hoker today also having a sponsor luncheon and invited our staff, so thank you to him for that. Of course, him, Penny, and Ricky keep talking about it. You know what I mean? All these sponsors coming under to support, and just the hard work of them reaching out and doing that stuff and making this event a success.
Yeah, it takes a village, and they have a village of supporters to make sure that these events go off without a hitch. So, looks like the racetrack's starting to get a little thumbs up here. Going to probably go green-yellow. A little bit of snot sitting on the top of the racetracks. Try to get that blown off and find the good stuff underneath. Ruben, last night we talked just a little bit about what was going to go on. What were you going to do to keep yourselves busy across the day-to-day? How'd you do? Did you find anything good to eat?
Yeah, as I mentioned, Jeff Hoker, had that luncheon for us today. Had some good barbecue from just right down here. Pretty good stuff there, and had us an ice cream from Dairy Queen.
It's always the good stuff,
Absolutely.
man.
By the way, shout out to Ashton. Ashton's actually the one that went to go get us the ice cream. It was a hot one today, though. You walk around the pit area, these teams were already ready to rock since yesterday. So, you know, minor things they had to do today, and it was a mellow pit area.
Yeah, chilling.
To say the least. Yeah, really, no one really outside much today, in their trailers, waiting for the race. But always a good time to come to Iowa. How about this? Ryan Gustin, obviously from Iowa. We got rained out at Independence, so this really will be the only stop in Iowa this year.
Correct.
Tonight, making his 200th Outlaw start in his home state.
How about that?
Wow.
That's pretty cool.
That is pretty cool. Other notables, Jake Tim, a little milestone. He'll make his 50th. Frank Heckenest, his 250th start.
I think Jake Tim brought the gorilla with him.
Yes, Jerome is here.
Jerome's in the house.
Jerome is in the house. Which, by the way, someone did steal Jake Tim's scooter last night. They may or may not stole our World of Outlaw chairs up here, too. Just don't be those people.
Don't be that guy.
Yeah, don't be that guy. If you have any information, Jake Tim has shared it on Facebook. If you have any details on that, please let them know. Thank you.
Be a lot better to go dump it off next to a fence than to get caught with it.
Yeah, no kidding. Unbelievable. But anyway, looks like stock cars making their way off here.
Yeah, a little, that was a lukewarm lap. Not exactly a hot lap.
They got some green, yellow laps. I'm excited for these guys. IMCA stock cars always put on a really good show.
Absolutely, and nothing short of it right here at Maquoketa Speedway. Sport Mod's going to be up next for their hot lap session. Weifels Hybrids bringing you the Sport Mod division here at the Hawkeye 100. So 50-50 tickets are on sale. We sold some last night, had a plan when we were going to shut that off. So some of the tickets that were sold from last night will roll into tonight's pot, which leaves a limited amount of 50-50 tickets here tonight on the grounds. The ladies are working hard across the main grandstand and into the pit area. You can grab your 50-50 tickets from the folks and make sure that you get them while they're hot because they're going quick. Sport Mods on the Speedway. Weifels Hybrids brings you the Sport Mods here at the Hawkeye 100. We'll get familiarized with some of the notables signed into the pit area here tonight. Jacob Arps with us out of Donahue, Iowa, the 10A machine. Justin Becker out of Bernard with us in the 35 Junior, making his way down Main Street. Ryan Reed out of the big city of McCausland in the 69er, working his way down through turns 3 and 4. Andrew Lehmeyer with us, Cedarville, Illinois driver, the 24W. Tony Cracklio out of Bennett, the 2K. Joe Nemitz is behind the wheel of the 36N. He's out of Bluegrass, Iowa. The 54 car out of Clarence belongs to Nick Schroep. Shane Bennett out of Mineral Point, Wisconsin with us in the 10 with an S. Trey Jacobs is here out of Donahue in 11J. First time to the Speedway in 2025, the 015. That's Eric Offenheiser out of Stockton, Illinois. Corey Kunzelman out of German Valley, Illinois with us in 47. Skippy Bobby Taggart from right here in the big city with us in the 28 car. Nathan Salagi's here out of Freeport, Illinois in the 18 machine. Once again, 22 cars signed into your pit area here tonight. Weifels Hybrids, IMCA Sport Mods. They'll do a little rolling around, trying to get everything worked in here. Hopefully have a little bit more success than the stock cars.
Yeah, just rolling in that middle groove now. Looks like the top rolled in. They just want to get the middle. You see series director for the World of Outlaws, Steve Francis, there in the middle of turns 3 and 4, directing the cars where to go. Once we get that, we get ready for them. 10-minute horn already sounded in the pit area for the late model, so we'll get them in the staging area. They'll come out to hot lap, and then we'll have modified hot laps get right into qualifying, then opening ceremonies. And once we're done with opening ceremonies, it's heat races after that. We'll get those through in and get the program rolling here. Of course, a little bit too much moisture. Of course, rained a lot here yesterday, Jason. So
rained a lot, and it did it in a rapid fashion.
It
We
did.
got her all.
There was
hurt.
even hail.
Yeah,
there was hail. So a lot of moisture in the racetrack, but I'll tell you what, looks smooth top to bottom here so far. So just ironing out that middle part of the surface here. Get Maquoketa Speedway official there to help us out, create a lane where we want these guys to roll in here in turns 3 and 4, and see late models making their way to the staging area already. 32 entries here tonight. Good mix of cars. Good to see some Iowa guys here. Dylan Thornton, of course, won the SLMR event earlier this year at Maquoketa. I see him making his way to the staging area.
Celebrating a birthday today.
Yes, yes.
But once again, 50-50 tickets, limited supply, not a lot left. See the girls out there working hard, trying to sell off all the 50-50 tickets here. Maximum pot available here this evening. Get them while they're hot.
Jason being told officials going to make their way to the infield over the World of Outlaws radio powered by Racing Electronics, and getting ready to give these drivers the green flag for hot laps.
Couple of quick ones around the quarter mile here at the Maquoketa Speedway to work in the racetrack, the Wafels Hybrid Sport Mods. Second of our third support class here this weekend. Modifieds will be up there for their hot lap session after the late models. As we go caution lights dim, we get set to hot lap the Sport Mods. So, just for reference sake, we'll take a look at live timing and scoring available on My Race Pass, and we'll talk about quick times across our Sport Mod field as they start to get wound up. Quickest lap thus far is an 18.453. Corey Kutzelman in the 47 car. All these things become important later on. The World of Outlaws cars will take their time trial laps. Good to see Carson Cullen out with us. The 8 machine, the youngster out of Wisconsin, the Bob Cullen Motorsports entry. Levi Heath to the top of the speed chart at 18.287. Knocked a couple of tenths off the prior quick time. So 18.102, Levi Heath getting faster again. We let these guys go an extended stay here, try to work the racetrack in just a little bit. Nobody going to get themselves to a sub 18 second lap time, 18.102. Going to be the quickest out of the bunch, Levi Heath in the 9H car, the fastest in our Hoke Logistics hot laps here at the Hawkeye 100. So, Sport Mods wrapping up their test session here tonight. I think it's time to turn the volume up just a little bit.
World of Outlaws getting ready for hot laps here at Maquoketa Speedway. Track record set by Bobby Pierce, 13.324 on August 17th a year ago. In the 32, Pierce, of course, a lot of success here at Maquoketa Speedway. Won both Mars features earlier this year in March, the Nippy 50, of course, and of course the Nippy 50 last year. Brian Shirley won both races with the Outlaws here a year ago, and as we mentioned, Dylan Thornton competing in the field, won the SLMR event feature here back in May, and won at the Nippy 50 in the modified. He leads us out, first driver around in the number 38T out of Orchid, California, and that Ricky and Brenda Kai owned number 38T. One World of Outlaw start came at Mississippi Thunder Speedway earlier this year, got 23rd. Right behind him out of Thompson, Georgia, in the number 2, it's going to be Cody Overton of the Steiny Motorsports. Number 2, 67th Outlaw start incoming for Cody Overton. Right behind him, the 99 Junior, a good milestone for him tonight. The 2014 World of Outlaws Rookie of the Year, going to make his 250th World of Outlaws start out of Frankfort, Illinois. Frank Heckenast Jr. Winner this week at Highland out of Benton, Kentucky, the number 96, Tanner English, for World of Outlaw wins, in his 128 World of Outlaw starts. Right behind him, out of Carpentersville, Illinois, the 2022 World of Outlaws champion, the 28, Dennis Erb Jr. Right behind him, making the long tow from Walla, Oregon, and the Don Frank Doors, number 15, Justin Duty, 3 World of Outlaw starts, best finish 8th at Jacksonville Speedway back in 2022. In the number 10, that is going to be Jeff Tharp out of Sherrill, Iowa. 1 World of Outlaw start 20 years ago at Farley Speedway. June 1st, 2005, got 17th, trying to make his second Outlaw start 20 years later. Good to see Jeff Tharp here with the Outlaws. Right behind him in the number 42, Fred Remley out of Anamosa, Iowa, trying to make his first World of Outlaw start. 2-time East Moline Speedway late model track champion, now in his 42nd year of late model racing. Other drivers on the Speedway, Greg Wagner in the 79W from Polo, Illinois, the Pines Automotive 79W in his 17th year behind the wheel of a late model, looking to make his first World of Outlaw start. The current MD3 Rookie of the Year point leader, actually, we're going to go with the reigning Dirt Car Summer Nationals champion out of Bloomington, Illinois, the 25, Jason Fager, creeping up on us there. 2-time Mars champion, 127 World of Outlaw starts, of course, on the podium this week already. Fager, 2 World of Outlaw wins. Davenport Speedway and Charter Raceway. There's the MD3 Rookie of the Year point leader out of Heinemann, Pennsylvania, the 22-star. That is Drake Troutman. MD3 Rookie of the Year contender out of Winona, Minnesota in the 49. That's going to be Jake Tam, going to make his 50th World of Outlaw start here tonight. And right underneath of him, out of Bakersfield, California, another MD3 Rookie of the Year contender. That is the ASD Motorsports 74X of Ethan Dotson. He'll make his 48th World of Outlaw start tonight. Got that win at Farmer City earlier this year. An awesome opportunity for this young driver, the 19-year-old second-generation driver, winner at Farmer City Raceway for his first ever Super Late Model win a week ago. Tonight will be his 12th night behind the wheel of a Super Late Model. We saw him at the PDC, Caden McWhorter out of Fairbury, Illinois. He's now in the Curlis Motorsports ride for the weekend. Of course, was supposed to race last night, got rained out. He's here tonight. A very cool opportunity for Caden McWhorter, 12th night behind the wheel of a Super Late Model, 19-year-old out of Fairbury, Illinois, in the Curlis Motorsports number 99. Out of Peoria, Arizona, in the Dirt Pro Contracting 78S, Steve Stoltz trying to make his first World of Outlaws feature start here tonight. We saw him at the Napa Auto Parts Go for 50 at Deer Creek Speedway. Those are all the drivers on the Speedway. Some drivers going to make their way to the infield as they iron out the racing surface. More cars in the staging area, getting ready for hot lap session number 1. As I mentioned, track record 13.324. Set by Bobby Pearson. Thank you to Pit Crew Barbecue for sponsoring Quick Time for the World of Outlaws here this weekend. Hot Laps, of course, presented by HD Equipment. Thank you, HD Equipment, for sponsoring Hot Laps here at Maquoketa Speedway for the Hawkeye 100. Cars making their way to the infield. Another driver making his way into the Speedway out of Lake Elmo, Minnesota, the B1, Brett Larson, 5-time Cedar Lake Speedway track champion, and the Land of Pressure Washers BA Roofing number B1. Of course, his son Matthew Larson also racing here this weekend. Brett Larson getting the car repaired from the incident at Spoon River Thursday night. The driver with the Dirt King Simulator's fastest hot lap gets an extra $100. Visit our friends at Dirt King Simulators down on the concourse. When you come to a World of Outlaws event, if you have the Dirt King Simulator's hot lap on the simulator, you also get a prize. The drivers get $100 as long as they have the sticker, and if they don't have the sticker, that money carries on to the next event. Kate Dillard ended up getting, $700 at Cedar Lake Speedway on the final night. It carried over that much. Drivers now have the sticker on deck. So the 38T, Dylan Thornton, as Jason mentioned, celebrating his birthday today. Winner earlier this year with the SLMR Series here. He's going to be fun to watch, race his way into the Dairyland Showdown as we get ready for Hot Lap session number 1 here at Maquoketa.
The boys are back. The boys are back in town.
session number 1 coming to green in trouble for the 99. Caden McWhorter smoke billowing under the 99. Tanner English with the Dirt King Simulator's fastest hot lap, 13.885. Cody Overton second quick, Tennis Herb Jr. third. Drake Troutman fourth, Frank Henkenes Jr. fifth. Tanner English, that rear end that failed him at Spoon River. Remember, he started 12th. He was up to 7th. Excuse me, up to 5th, up 7 positions. Told me, man, we could have finished on the podium, but unfortunately mechanical issues sidelined him. Tanner English kicks off the night with the Dirt King Simulator's fastest hot lap at a 13.885 in that Coltman Farms Racing number 96. Next group in the staging area getting ready to roll on to Maquoketa Speedway, so 13.885. That means we are 5/10 off the track record here, so definitely some good lap times for the first hot lap session here with the Outlaws. Justin Duty gonna roll in the back straightaway in the number 15. Some cars went to the infield here. Jake Tim in the 49, also the Gorilla Mill 49 onto the Speedway. There's Justin Duty on your screen on DIRTVision and the big screen here at the racetrack. If you come to an Outlaws event, of course, we got you covered. We have the DIRTVision replays. We got stats and cool graphics and interviews and replays and during commercials. We have a lot of fun stuff on the big screen. So there's Jake Tim, 49. And we talked about him making his 50th Outlaw start tonight. The 10T, Jeff Thorpe out of Sherrill, Iowa. Good to see Jeff Thorpe here. Former Dubuque Speedway late model track champion, Farley Speedway late model track champion. Ethan Dodson, the 74X, got his first ever quick time with the series at Spoon River. Got into the redraw in that 74X. Ethan Dodson, of course, getting help from Matt Langston down at Longhorn. They're going to be fun to watch here to close out the year. Jason Fager in the 25, no stranger to Maquoketa Speedway, loves this racetrack. For the two-time and reigning Hell Tour champion, he's close on getting his third World of Outlaws feature win. Running in the top 5 in the PDC, running the podium this week already. Brent Larson in the B1, also on the Speedway, as well as the 42 of Fred Remley. Remley in the 42, two-time East Moline Speedway late model track champion. Good to have Fred here this weekend. Some of these guys, Jason, showing up to, give it a shot and make the show. $1,500 to start. It's pretty good money. And hey, you never know.
Absolutely. You don't know if you don't try. And a lot of these guys, local, regional, hot shoes, trying to make their name or stake their claim with the World of Outlaws here when they invade our territory.
Absolutely. 79W, Greg Wagner out of Polo, Illinois. Final driver out there in that hot lap session. As we get ready for hot lap session number 2, Tanner English with the Dirt King Simulator's fastest hot lap, 13.885. The Dave Warren Power Sports safety vehicles make their way off the speedway. We get ready for hot lap session number 2. Justin Duty going to go 5th quick in the 15. Ethan Dodson going to go 3rd quick, 14.138. Brett Larson 4th quick. Justin Duty stays 8th. Jake Tim stays 9th. Thorpe goes 12th. Checkered flag going to fly here in hot lap session number 2, and it's Jason Fager, the fastest out of this group. That's going to put him 3rd quick overall. In that 25, Jason Fager, 3rd quick. Cody Overton 2nd. Tanner English still the quickest. There's Jason Fager rolling off in the 25. Next group in the staging area getting ready to roll out, going to be led out by the number 43 at Derek Stewart out of Ainsworth, Iowa. And that Grace Motorsports number 43 now in his 2nd year of super late model competition. 5 World of Outlaw starts for Derek Stewart. Best finished 10th at Deer Creek earlier this year on the 4th of July. Making his 100th World of Outlaw start tonight. And the Hawkeye 200th World of Outlaw start. The Reaper, Ryan Gustin in the 19R. The 32, Chris Simpson, right behind him out of Oxford, Iowa. 83 World of Outlaw starts, best finished 2nd twice at Independence Motor Speedway and the Dubuque fair. The 75, that's going to be Daniel Adams, number 75, driven by Dylan McCowan out of Urbana, Missouri. And also on the Speedway, the current World of Outlaws point leader out of Oakwood, Illinois, Bobby Pierce. In that number 32, got his 39th win, most recent winner on the tour at Spoon River, tying Chris Madden for 6th on the all-time wins list. Out of Bear Lake, Pennsylvania, the nice 99B of Boom Briggs. Bear Lake Bonsai, two-time ULMS champion, trying to get that first World of Outlaws victory. And right behind him, you talk about a team needing an off day after an expired power plant at Spoon River. They wanted to make sure they had both cars ready, so they took the old power plant out of the other car, put another one in that one just to make sure they got a backup car. Nick Hoffman back ready for competition here tonight out of Mooresville, North Carolina, 10-time World of Outlaw feature winner, second in the point standings. Out of Iowa City, Iowa, the 51, Matt Furman, 4 World of Outlaw starts, best finish 14th at the Independence Motor Speedway back in 2012. Furman now in his 25th year of late model racing. Those are all the drivers around the Speedway here for this hot lap session. Drivers just ironing out the outside of the racing surface. There's a 32, Bobby Pierce. Ashton mentioned how strong he is. Of course, Pierce went on the longest streak of not winning an outlaw race, 6 of them for the 32. I mean, for him, that's not normal, but you know, Pierce obviously looking really, really good. There's Ryan Gustin, of course, coming off the USA Nationals victory. It's been a struggle this week for Gustin. They can't get on the qualifying board up to the top of the charts in the 19R, but Gustin trying to get it done here in his home state of Iowa, and of course, Nick Hoffman in the tie tour at number 9. Gorsuch Performance green flag flying here in hot laps with the World of Outlaws. Presented by HD Equipment. Ryan Gustin going to go 4th quick. Chris Simpson going to go 7th quick. McCowan Bobby Pierce to the top of the charts, 13.810. Hoffman 2nd quick. Derek Stewart 10th. There's the smooth operator on your screen on DIRTVision. 13.810. Of course, Pierce has the track record here. 13.324, and right now he goes with the Dirt King Simulator's fastest hot lap, 13.810 for the smooth operator Bobby Pierce. Nick Hoffman 2nd quick, Tanner English 3rd, Ryan Gustin 4th, Boom Briggs 5th quick in the 99B. These drivers are the first group of cars to go out in Real American Beer Late Model Qualifying Group B. Final group getting ready to roll onto the Speedway before we get IMCA Modifieds out there onto the Speedway. Next group led out by the Squirrel, Brian Shirley out of Chatham, Illinois, 13 World of Outlaw victories. By the way, Bob Colin in the house tonight. Of course, his son going to race in the Sport Mod division later tonight. Fresh off that Prairie Dirt Classic victory. The number 16, Tyler Bruning out of Decorah, Iowa. The Skyline Motorsports number 16, so close to that first World of Outlaws win. 160 starts, best finish 2nd at Livonia for Fear of the Beard, the 2021 World of Outlaws Rookie of the Year. Out of Rochester, Minnesota, in his sophomore season with the series, in his 3rd year behind the wheel of a super late model, Dustin Sorensen, 72 World of Outlaw starts, best finish 2nd at Brownstown a year ago. Daniel Adam out of Peru, Illinois, in the 75. 4 World of Outlaw starts for Daniel Adam, best finish 16th twice. Once here at Maquoketa a year ago and Swainsboro. So Daniel Adam, his career best coming at this racetrack. The 2006 World of Outlaws champion out of Watertown, New York, the 9, and T-Mac, Tim McCready. And the Dave Warren Power Sports number 9, 484 World of Outlaw starts for T-Mac, 9th on the all-time wins list with 37 career World of Outlaw victories. Right behind him, joining us at Kaukauna, Wisconsin, in the Reliable Custom Trailers number 10, Paul Parker, 26 World of Outlaw starts, best finish 10th at the Jackson Motorplex back in 2021. In his sophomore year with the World of Outlaws at Richmond, Indiana, 57 World of Outlaw starts, best finish 3rd at the Rocket Raceway Park. That's Tricky Tristan Chamberlain. Final driver out there, the 19-year-old third-generation driver in his first year of Super Late Model competition in Lake Elmo, Minnesota, the 8 of Matthew Larson. Those are all the drivers in this final Hot Lap session as the Gorsuch Performance Green Flag flies here in Hot Laps, presented by HD Equipment. Bobby Pierce has the Dirt King Simulator's fastest Hot Lap, 13.810. Hoffman second, 13.852. Tim McCready going to go fourth quick. He'll get bumped down to fifth as Chamberlain goes fourth quick. And Brian Shirley, no surprise, to the top of the charts, the driver that clean sweep the weekend a year ago. And now it's Dustin Sorensen. Sorensen does have the sticker, so that will be $100 for Dustin Sorensen to conclude Hot Laps. He has the Dirt King Simulator's fastest Hot Lap, 13.511, 13.511 for Dustin Sorensen. He'll get $100. He does have the Dirt King Simulator's fastest Hot Lap, and he'll kick it off. Tyler Bruning second quick, Brian Shirley third, Bobby Pierce fourth, Tim McCready fifth. IMCA Modifieds getting ready for their Hot Laps, and then we will be right back after that with qualifying. Jason, final division, the Hot Lap here tonight.
Modifieds out in full representation, 34. Signed into the pit area here tonight. We'll take a look at the Ascendance Truck Center's IMCA Modifieds, led to the Speedway by Chargin. Charlie Moore, the youngster out of Bettendorf, Iowa. The other 99 car belongs to Brandon Jewell, the driver out of Comanche, Iowa. Jake Murray out of Hartford with us in the 48J. Good look and feel the hot rods on hand here tonight. The Ascendance Truck Center's IMCA Modifieds. Cody Schrader out of Manitowoc with us in the 20C. Kyle Montgomery out of Tipton, Iowa with us in the 32K. Logan Anderson's here out of Eddyville in 53. Clint Parsons, the Titletown Terror out of Green Bay, Wisconsin with us in the 19 machine. Cole Fensky out of Waukee, Iowa with us in the 21R. Owen Barnhill, the 24 car, he's out of Milton, Florida. 24 making his way down Main Street. The hitman, Johnny Whitman's with us, Swamico, Wisconsin driver. Good to have the hitman in the house, making his first start here at the Maquoketa Speedway. We get set to crack the whip. Ascendance Truck Center's IMCA Modified Hot Lap session. So, session number one, Hot Laps wrapped up and in the books. Your Ascendance Truck Center's IMCA Modifieds. HD Equipment Hot Lap session number one for your mods wrapped up And in the books, quickest car out of the group, 15.861, charging Charlie Moore out of Bettendorf, the fastest car in our HD Equipment Hot Lap session number 1. For the modifieds, the second group set to make their way onto the Speedway. We'll get a look up as they roll to it. The High Bank quarter mile here at Maquoketa Speedway. Braden Claiborne with us in the 2. Racer Joe Henefeld out of Freeport, Illinois with us in the 33J. Jaden Fryer with us in the 8 machine. He's also out of Freeport, Ill. Chad Holliday behind the wheel of the 8H machine, working his way down the back straightaway. The Hawkins Trucking sponsored entry. Eric Barnes, old long hair, with us out of Kelowna, Illinois, the 1 machine. Austin Stam out of Orangeville, Illinois, with us. The White Claw Outlaw behind the wheel of Marcia Current's 12T. Blaze Lewis out of Kewanee, Illinois, with us in the 44X. Mike Garland's here in the G1. He's out of Morrison, Illinois. Kyle Montgomery with us in 32K. Little Benny Chapman's here out of the big city of Clarence in 1 Junior. Ryan Maitland sits behind the 4 machine. He's out of Waterloo, Iowa. Cody Laney's here with us in the 5L, working his way down the back straightaway. Brad Dirks out of Clarence with us in 29D. Jeff Bodendorfer's here in the 95 car. Brandon Schmidt, the Dump Bar and Grill sponsored car, number 20, out of Beaver Dam, Wisconsin. Midway out of Davenport, the 01M. Going to be your final hot rod on the Speedway here. HD Equipment Hot Lap session number 2, your Ascendance Truck Center's IMCA Modifieds. Trouble for one on the top side at turn number 3. Safety crew going to take a looky-loo, see what's happening with the 95 machine. Maybe a debris issue there, pointing something out to safety personnel. Bodendorfer will roll away in the 95. Still the quickest out of the pile. The first group was a 15.861 charging Charlie Moore. Laid down the hottest time in HD Equipment Hot Lap session number 1. We'll see if somebody can knock him off the top of the pile here as we get set to come to life. Ascendance Truck Center's IMCA Modifieds HD Equipment Hot Laps. Heavy smoke out of the back of the G1 Mike Garland entry as he brings her to a whoa and slow. We'll take them back on pit side, get ready to go for qualifying heat races here tonight as we get set to turn the wick up, turn the volume up just a little bit. I think it's time to qualify.
Absolutely. Cars going to make their way from the top of the turn number 2, entry to the Speedway for qualifying. That way we don't have to burn off a lap. They'll come to the Gorsuch Performance green flag, coming off a 4, and put them on the clock instead of entering turn number 4, burn a whole lap, and save some time. 16 cars in Real American Beer Late Model Qualifying Group A. Again, thank you to Pit Crew Barbecue for sponsoring Quick Time, and also Real American Beer Late Model Qualifying Group B, having 16 cars as well. Track record 13.324. Sorensen had the fastest hot lap, 13.511. If you're unfamiliar with qualifying with the World of Outlaws, Group A will set the lineups for heats 1 and 2. Group B will set the lineups for heats 3 and 4. Fastest driver starts on the pole of heat race number 1. Second fastest on the pole of heat 2. Third and fourth fill to the outside of the front row, etc., etc. Same thing for Group B, except that'll set the lineups for heats 3 and 4. Cars getting ready to make their way onto the speedway. We'll go 2 at a time around Maquoketa Speedway. Tanner English drew the 1 pill today. You see them on the big screen there and on DIRTVision, getting ready to kick us off here in Group A. Winner at Highland Speedway in the 96. Don't forget to visit the World of Outlaws souvenir trailer. Grab your official merchandise of the World of Outlaws, the official Hawkeye 100 merchandise. Down there they have the official event t-shirt. Go visit Joe and Darren at the World of Outlaws souvenir trailer. They have hats, stickers, koozies, and much, much more down there at the World of Outlaws souvenir trailer. If you can't get anything today, go to the greatest store on dirt.com. Again, the greatest store on dirt.com. We commence qualifying. First driver onto the speedway joins us out of Benton, Kentucky in the Longhorn Clements Coltman Farms Racing, MPM Marketing, Bill Stein, VP Racing Fuels, C Motorsports, Supreme Enterprises, Custom Automotive, Autism Awareness, Rock Bottom, Dirt Works, Oasis Hair and Natural Hair Salon, number 96, Tanner English. The current MD3 Rookie of the Year point leader out of Heidemann, Pennsylvania in the Longhorn Cornet Team 22 Incorporated, Victory Circle Auto Sales, Gambler Transport, Brickhouse Tavern, Messiah Valley Transportation, RFI Resources, Jerry Siding and Roofing, Schaefer Construction, number 22 star, Drake Troutman. Tanner English kicks it off, 13.761. Troutman faster, 13.351 in the 22 star, 13.351. We are so close to the track record. As Tanner will go faster, 13.672. Troutman up and over turn number 4. And that will throw away lap number 2, but Drake Troutman will go and set the bar in Group A, 13.351 track record, 13.324. Of course, this racetrack really juiced up. That's a possibility. Up next out of Thompson, Georgia, in the Longhorn Vic Hill, Steiny Motorsports, Richard David Legacy Motorsports, Shaw Trucking, Budweiser O'Morley, Trouble Electric, VP Racing Fuels, of Oswald Oil Supply Chain Management, number 2, Cody Overton. Out of Frankfort, Illinois, in the Longhorn Vic Hill, Indy Euclid Park, Storage Squares, JR Hulling, All-Star Performance, Dirt Oval at Route 66, Capital Science, Randy Cordy Consulting, number 99 Junior, Frank Heckenass Jr. Cody Overton, second quick, 13.565. Frank Heckenass Jr. going to go third quick, 13.569. Time to beat Troutman's 13.351. Cody Overton will go faster, but remains second quick, 13.393. Troutman gonna stay atop of the charts as Frankie goes third quick, second lap slower by about 2/10, 13.790 that time. First lap better, third quick. Drake Troutman still with the time to beat early, 13.351. Up next, out of Orchid, California, in the Longhorn Cornet, Ricky and Brenda Kione, Peterson Insurance, Kai Farms, Hoker Trucking, Pete and Mary Van Eiderstein, Salty's Barbecue, Drake Excavating, VG Performance, Pit Crew Barbecue, number 38T, Dylan Thornton. Out of Carpentersville, Illinois, the McBride Back, Romac, 5-Star Race Car Bodies, Fox Shocks, Kaiser, VP, PRC, Dundee Heating and Air Conditioning, Colin Signs, Tools, Auto Sales and Detailing, Rocket Clements, number 28, Dennis Earp Jr. Dylan Thornton, fourth quick at a 13.626. Dennis Earp Jr. going to go fifth quick, 13.664. Dylan Thornton won the modified feature here in the Nifty 50. Won the SLMR event earlier this year. Can he go faster? No, 13.762. First lap better, 13.626. Dennis Earp going to bump Thornton down to fifth as Dennis Earp Jr. goes fourth quick on his second lap, 13.599. It's Troutman, Overton, Heckenest, and Earp, the top 4, who right now sit in a front row of the heat races. Up next, the 99 at Fairbury, Illinois, in the Longhorn Ryan Carlos Motorsports, C&W Trucking, Mobile One, Truck Country, Dimmitt Transfer, Centennial Contractors, number 99, Caden McWhorter. Joining us at Peoria, Arizona, in the Longhorn Klein Engines, Dirt Pro Contracting, Don Hagen Trucking, Old Pine Star, number 78S, that is Steve Stoltz. Smoke billowing under the 99 during hot laps and continues to billow here in qualifying as he'll go 7th quick, 13.968 for the 19-year-old at a Fairbury. Steve Stoltz going to cross the line. He'll fall in suit. 8th quick, 14.179. Final lap for Caden McWhorter. And McWhorter will cross the line 7th quick, 13.275. Faster on lap number 2. Steve Stoltz will cross the line in the 78S. And Stoltz going to go slower, 14.278. First lap better. 8th quick, 14.179 for Stoltz. And 7th quick for Caden McWhorter. Next qualifier joins us out of Molalla, Oregon. And the Longhorn Pro Power, Don Frank Doors. Darren and Mardell Williams, Roberts B Company, First Class Septic, Geoff Stewart Trucking. Number 15, Justin Duty. In the number 10, it is Sherrill, Iowa. And the Longhorn Pro Power, Ross Pierce owned. Calco Spray Coatings, Calco Gutters, Dottie's Cafe, Turpin and Dubuque, Klein Custom Homes, Hollander Insurance Agency, TriStar Cremation Center, Northwestern Mutual. Number 10, Jeff Tharp. Justin Duty, 5th quick, 13.614. Jeff Tharp going to cross the line. He'll go 9th quick, 13.817. Justin Duty. Can he go faster on lap number 2? Crack the top 5 in the opening lap. Justin Duty will cross the line. He'll go slower, 13.622 that time. And Tharp will also go slower, 14.040. First lap for Tharp, going to put him 9th quick at a 13.817. Justin Duty, 5th quick, 13.614. Up next, MD3 Rookie of the Year contender with the World of Outlaws out of Winona, Minnesota. In the Longhorn Vic Hill Gorilla Mill, Herco Companies, Mesilla Valley Transportation, Oak Ridge Fabrication, Horman's HVAC, On Demand Shirts, Rush Race Gear by Austin Witt, Stone Machinery 49, Jake Tim. Another MD3 Rookie of the Year contender out of Bakersfield, California. In the Longhorn Clements, ASD Motorsports, Jarrett Rifles, Ozio Gear, Beaker Grading and Paving, Penske, Boswell, Torco Racing Walls, number 74X, Ethan Dotson. Jake Tim, 3rd quick, 13.496 for Jake Tim. Here comes Ethan Dotson in the 74X, 8th quick for Dotson, 13.646. Jake Tim, can he go to the top of the charts? Jake Tim faster, but stays. 3rd quick, 13.488. And Ethan Dotson to the top of the charts goes the former IMCA modified standout, Ethan Dotson. 13.341 for Ethan Dotson. Up next, number 42, out of Anamosa, Iowa, in the Rocket Pro Power, Hoffman Trucking, Neutrina Phillips Enterprise, Storage to Go, Stripling Construction, number 42, Fred Remley. And the number 79W, joining us at Apollo, Illinois, and the Pierce Platinum Zanker Power, Pines Automotive, Beham Signs, Hooker Harness, Advanced Racing Suspension, number 79, Greg Wagner. Opening lap for Remley, 12th quick, 14.131, 14.131, and trouble for Wagner up and over turn number 4. And that's going to bring out the Dave Warren Power Sports caution presented by Trix Utility Services here in qualifying, presented by Pit Crew Barbecue, as Greg Wagner gets it back going. DIRTVision replay of what happened there with Wagner. Wagner able to get it back rolling here down the front straightaway. Wagner did bring out the caution, so therefore he will only get 1 lap of qualifying. Remley will get 1 more as well. His first lap did count, 12th quick, 14.131. Wagner on the clock. He gets the white flag. Driver's getting way up there in turns 3 and 4. Remley going to go slower. And Wagner, his one and only lap going to be 14th quick, 14.995. Checkered flag in the air for Remley, 12th quick, 13.939. So Wagner's one and only lap going to go 14th quick, 14.995, and Fred Remley, 12th quick, 13.939. Ethan Dotson with a time to beat at a 13.341. Troutman 2nd, Overton 3rd, Jake Tim 4th. Final pair, ready to roll onto the Speedway in Group A at Lake Elmo, Minnesota. In the Longhorn Vic Hill Land of Pressure Washers, BA Roofing, Fuel Factory, Hanco Corporation, T-Pack, The Real Cafe, number B1, Brent Larson. And the number 25 out of Bloomington, Illinois, the reigning Hell Tour champion. And the Longhorn Clements, Titan Industries, SC Online Sales, Digital Copy Systems, Hooker Trucking, VP Racing Fuel, Rosser Battery, Cheap Cars, Russ Ellinger Crane Services, number 25, a high side hustler, Jason Fager. Brett Larson in his opening lap, 12 quick, 13.918. Jason Fager in the 25, going to cross the line for his opening lap, and Jason Fager to the top of the charts, and Jason Fager, new track record, 13.271. Larson going to go faster, but stays 12th quick. This Fager, go faster. Jason Fager, new track record, a 13.271 for the final driver in Group A. Jason Fager, 13.271, new track record and quickest overall in Group A. So Fager will start on the front row with the 22-star Drake Troutman in the opening heat race of the night. Then you have Ethan Dodson and Cody Overton on the front row of heat race number 2. Cars going to make their way out of the infield. Let's go downstairs to Ashton Smythe as Jason Fager's on the intercomp scales to make it official. 2350 minimum weight requirement. They'll check the tires, they'll check the droop, but Jason Fager, Ashton, unloaded with some speed here tonight.
Yes, he did. Tech officials down here making sure that everything's good. Droop being checked and rolling across the scales as well. Jason, what a wicked lap. New track record here. What about you in this racetrack? Just click.
Actually, nothing. I haven't been very good here. This place kind of been one of my Achilles' heel, and Hoker does a great job here. Ricky Guy, I like them guys a lot. I just got to figure out how to get around here, and unless they're going to put walls and black dirt, we've been trying to figure out how to get better, but that's a good start for the night, so it kind of shocks me. I just seen Ethan go wide open around there, and I just, it's usually not my style, but I winged her in there, and it stuck, and it went. So got to give that one to Clements, probably.
Jason Fager figures something out in that qualifying run, setting a new track record, Ruben.
Thank you very much, Ashton. There's some heavy hitters in Group B, though. You have Ryan Gustin, Nick Hoffman, Bobby Pierce, Brian Shirley, who clean sweep the weekend ago, Tim McCready here in Group B coming up. So this track record, Jason Fager just said, we'll see if it stands after Real American Beer Late Model Qualifying Group B. This will set the lineups for heats 3 and 4 this evening. As I mentioned, the 25 of Jason Fager will start on the front row with Drake Troutman in the opening heat of the night and Ethan Dodson and Cody Overton in the front row of heat race number 2. To kick off Group B, going to make his 200th World of Outlaws start in his home state of Iowa, to Marshalltown, Iowa, in the Infiniti J. Dickens, Cooney Motorsports, Hoker Trucking, Ellen Seamless Gutters, Carl Chevrolet, Fertilizer Equipment Specialist, Custom Fabricating and Repair, Jody's Collision Repair, VP Racing Fuels Heartland, Mel Hamilton Ford Racing, and Tire Demon by Tim Love, number 19R, the Reaper, Ryan Gustin. Out of Bear Lake, Pennsylvania, the Longhorn Clements, Nice, Dave Warren, Power Sports, Bricks Transport, Corey Rubber Corporation, Access Storage, Sherlock Ventures, Flawless Roofing, Trans 58, number 99B, Boom Briggs. Opening lap here for Ryan Gustin, 13.350. Boom Briggs going to go faster, 13.463, 13.463 for Boom Briggs. Second quick, Ryan Gustin at top of the charts, 13.350. Next qualifier, getting ready to roll onto the Speedway, joining us out of Iowa City, Iowa, in the Longhorn Pro Power, Dr. Keith Stanley, Furman Builders, Lucky Dog Manufacturing, number 51, that is Matt Furman. In the number 43, joining us out of Ainsworth, Iowa, in the Capital Old Pro, Grace Motorsports, Stewart & Sons, Midwest Frame, Houston Ag, Arnold Motor Supply, Kelder Fabrication, Outlaw Cleaning, number 43, Derek Stewart. Time to beat Ryan Gustin's 13.350, 13.350. Opening lap coming for Matt Furman in the 51. He'll cross the line and he's going to go. Oh, trouble for Derek Stewart. He's up and over the cushion in turns 3 and 4. Derek Stewart going to park it in turn 4, and that'll bring out the Dave Warren Power Sports caution. DIRTVision replay, Derek Stewart entering turn number 3. And up and over the cushion went the 43 of Derek Stewart. on the loud pedal. Derek Stewart on the clock. He'll get 1 lap for bringing out the caution. Matt Furman still gets both in the 51. Opening lap for Furman, 13.914, third quick to kick off Group B. Derek Stewart going to go second quick, 13.411, 13.411. And Furman will not improve, 13.955. So Furman going to go fourth quick on his opening lap, 13.914. Derek Stewart second quick, 13.411. And Ryan Gustin with the time to beat here in the 19R to 13.350 for Ryan Gustin. Up next, out of Mooresville, North Carolina, the Longhorn Clements, Ty-Torque Racing, NOS Energy Drink, Lone Wolf Petroleum, CW Trucking, Petrov Towing, Holdren Construction, Bill Stein, Tri-Valley Equipment, Ty-Torque Performance Parts, number 9, Nick Hoffman. In the 75, that's going to be Dylan McCowan out of Urbana, Missouri, and the Adam Family Motorsports Mobilization Funding, RLM Enterprises, Justin L. Langdon Electric, number 75. Nick Hoffman to the top of the charts, 13.347. Dylan McCowan, 6th quick, 14.032. Nick Hoffman will cross the line faster, 13.098. 13.098 for Nick Hoffman. And McCowan going to go faster, 5th quick, 13.890. But how about Nick Hoffman? New quick time, 13.098 here in Real American Beer Late Model Qualifying, Group B, presented by Pit Crew Barbecue. Up next out of Oxford, Iowa, in the Longhorn Durham Hot Rod Septic Treatment, Sunoco Race Fuels, HD Equipment, Hoker Trucking, Randy Davidson Trucking, Capital Capsign, C&J Trucking, Taylor Insulation, Milwaukee, number 32, Chris Simpson. The current World of Outlaws point leader out of Oakwood, Illinois, the Longhorn Vic Hill Low Voltage Solutions, Churchill Transportation, Collin Brothers Towing, Rio Grande Way Services, Mesilla Valley Transportation, Carnegie, Steininger Construction, Pontiac RV, and Fast One Speed Shop, 32, Bobby Pierce. Chris Simpson, 5th quick, 13.734. And Bobby Pierce going to go 4th quick, 13.417. Simpson will see the checkered flag this time for the Iowan. Simpson will cross the line. He's going to go faster. 5th quick, 13.448. Bobby Pierce will cross the line. And Pierce going to go faster. 2nd quick at a 13.309. 2nd quick for Bobby Pierce, 13.309. But it's Nick Hoffman with a time to beat, 13.098 over Bobby Pierce. Ryan Gustin, Derek Stewart. How about the top 3 in the World of Outlaws point standings? In the top 3 here in Group B. Up next, the number 10, you're going to find the driver to Kaukauna, Wisconsin, and the Longhorn Reliable Custom Trailers G&E Construction, number 10, Paul Parker, and the number 16 of Decorah, Iowa, in the Infinity, Clements, Skyline Motorsports, Bruning Rock Products, Olson Explosives, Truck Country, Quick Supply, Browns Heavy Equipment, Hovden Oil, JW Bell, VP Racing Fuels, Midwest Sheet Metal, number 16, Fear the Beard, Tyler Bruning. Paul Parker, 9th quick, 13.928, 13.928. The 16 of Tyler Bruning will cross the line. He's going to go 7th quick, 13.856, 13.856. Paul Parker will go 10th quick, 13.928. Checkered flag in the air. Bruning goes faster, 4th quick, 13.410. For Tyler Bruning. Nick Hoffman with a time to beat in Group B, 13.098 over Pierce, Gustin, and Bruning. Up next, the number 75 joins us out of Peru, Illinois, in the Longhorn Cornet, Adam Family Motorsports, Spiffy's Mobilization Funding, RLM Enterprises, the Restore Warehouse, Justin L. Langdon Electric, SRI Performance, American Racing Rims, Integris Risk Solutions, number 75, Daniel Adam. And the number 20 TC out of Richmond, Indiana. In the Infinity by Wells, Spec Powered, Gibson Racing, Vision, Woodworks, KEG, Sword Nozzles, DCE Fabrication, Pardos Towing Service, Burke Transmission, number 20 TC, Tristan Chamberlain. Opening lap for Daniel Adam, 8th quick, 13.488, 13.488 for Daniel Adam. The 20 TC and Tristan Chamberlain will cross the line. He's going to go 9th quick, 13.534. Adam will cross the line and stay 8th quick, 13.488. Tristan Chamberlain will cross the line in the 20 TC faster. He'll go to 8th quick at a 13.479. So Tristan Chamberlain 8th quick, Daniel Adam 9th quick at a 13.488. Nick Hoffman still with a time to beat. Up next, a pair of Outlaws out of Rochester, Minnesota, and the Longhorn Pro Power, Oldenburg Construction, Paulson Rock Products, JNS Repair, JCB Equipment, Rochester Chevrolet 63 Club, Yagi Trucking, CBR Drilling, Heavy Hitch 19, Dustin Sorensen. The defending winner of this event out of Chatham, Illinois, the Longhorn Journal, Bobco Racing, Thomason Express, Hoker Trucking, J&J Ventures, Gaming, KBC Graphics, All Geyer, Cheap Cars, Ted Brown's, Midwest, VP Race Ranch, number 3, S. Brian Shirley. Sorensen, third quick, 13.325. Shirley gonna go 11th quick, 13.528. Dustin Sorensen with a whopping opening lap. Can he go to the top of the charts here in the 19? Dustin Sorensen will not. Slower, 13.384, but a whopping opening lap. Shirley up and over the cushion in turn number 4, and Shirley will throw away lap number 2. He'll keep lap 1 11th quick at a 13.528, but Dustin Sorensen third quick at a 13.325. Final 2 qualifiers here this evening, getting ready to roll onto the Speedway at Lake Elmo, Minnesota. In the Rocket Vic Hill Hanco Corporation, Fuel Factory, Line Designs, Ace Media, Mama T, Smoke and Eats, number 8, Matthew Larson. The 2006 World of Outlaws champion in Watertown, New York. In the Longhorn Clemens, Dave Warren, Power Sports, Bricks Transport, Corey Rubber Corporation, Access Storage, Sherlock Ventures, Flawless Roofing, Trans 58, number 9, T-Mac, Tim McCready. Opening lap for Matthew Larson, 15th quick, 14.401. Tim McCready will clock in the 9, going to go 7th quick, 13.414. And final lap for Larson, he's going to go slower. Tim McCready slow down the back straightaway, so T-Mac only going to do 1 lap here, and he goes 7th quick at a 13.414. Matthew Larson going to go 16th quick. So Nick Hoffman at top of the charts in the Tide Touring number 9. He will start in the front row, heat race number 3. And the 32 of Bobby Pierce on the pole of heat race number 4. Sorensen will share the front row with the 9 of Hoffman, and the 19 Augustin will go to the outside of the front row of heat race number 4. There's Nick Hoffman, quickest in Group B. We saw Jason Fager. Want to make a correction. Don't know how this one slipped past me. Ricky Thornton Jr. actually has a track record, 13.077 at the Nippy 50 this year. Pierce had the track record last year. That was broken this year at the Nippy 50. So Thornton 13.077 from this year's Nippy 50. But nonetheless, Jason Fager going to be today's overall quick time qualifier at a 13.271. And Nick Hoffman going to be the quickest in Group B. Ashton alongside Nick Hoffman.
Yeah, Nick Hoffman, a very fast race car out there, starting your day off this well. How huge is that considering the past 48 hours you and this 9 team have had?
Yeah, for sure. It's way nicer than the night we had at Spoon River so far. So, yeah, race car was really good there. I just was able to watch on DIRTVision, sit in my car to see what, Fager did there to lay down that lap so late, and just knew I had to bury myself pretty deep into that cushion and never lift. So many guys lose speed off of both ends. It gets so thin, and the dirt, is now over the bank where you got to kind of peel off that cushion a little bit. So I just made sure I got everything I could into the center and then kind of peel off of it. And yeah, our car was really good. I'm excited to be here. This place really, it wasn't good to me last year. I had fun here, and the racetrack was really good. So try and put on a show for you race fans up there. There's a bunch of them. So race car's good so far. You just got to put a whole night together.
Nick Hoffman taking some notes from Jason Fager, both quick times in their respective groups here tonight, and that sets heat race lineups for this evening, Ruben.
Nick Hoffman finished second in the 60-lapper a year ago to Brian Shirley. Jason Fager with his 4th career quick time with the series. That's going to do it for qualifying for everyone watching around the world on DIRTVision. We'll step aside and be right back from Maquoketa.
For 4 decades, one name has redefined hunting precision. Jarrett Rifles, where engineering meets the art of the hunt. From African plains to American mountains, discerning hunters choose Jarrett for one reason: when opportunity presents itself, there's no room for compromise. Every rifle leaves our workshop with proven half MOA accuracy and our craftsman's personal guarantee. Jarrett Rifles, the difference between a shot and a trophy.
If this is your idea of ladylike, you're gonna fit right in. Join us at Toyota Racing.
I think it's a very big deal that we have Amcus, providing us with the Amcus cutting tools throughout our series and World Racing Group. It's good that we were able to get a product in that's reliable and it does the job. If for some reason we had to cut a car apart or get access to a driver or a patient, we know that this tool here is definitely the one that we're going to work the best, get us in there quickly.
Honest Abe Roofing is America's favorite roofing company.
They took the time to discuss all of our needs.
I couldn't be happier with my new roof.
The best part? They came in under budget.
Honest Abe Roofing helped us with their easy payment solutions, and now we can make low payments on the roof that we actually wanted.
I guarantee you'll get the best price for your roof. That's what my ironclad lowest investment guarantee is all about.
Out of Lake Elmo, Minnesota. In his 8th year of Super Late Model Competition, the Soyboard Calf Ranches, Land of Pressure Washers, Hanco Corporation, Fuel Factory, The Real Cafe, B1, it's Brent Larson.
Only the toughest drivers can handle the World of Outlaws Late Model Series. Only the toughest pressure washers carry the name Landa.
Welcome back to everyone watching around the world on DIRTVision, home to the greatest shows on dirt. Jason Fager, quick time here tonight, 13.271. He will start on the front row with Drake Troutman in the opening heat of the night. Ethan Dodson, Cody Overton on the front row of Heat 2. Nick Hoffman, Dustin Sorensen, Heat 3, and Bobby Pierce and Ryan Gustin. What a front row to Heat Race number 4. Getting ready for opening ceremonies here. Of course, a lot of support, a lot of sponsors. Getting all this lined up in the front, and a very special announcement coming up here in just a few moments. Downstairs to Ashton Smythe for opening ceremonies. Ashton, ready to kick it off here in the Saturday portion of the Hawkeye 100.
Yes, Ruben, but one more piece of business to take care of. And fans, we have a very, very special announcement standing right beside me. Jeff and Penny Hoker, Brenda, and the Kai family down here as well. So Jeff Hoker here to give a special announcement.
Yeah, first we want to thank everybody for coming and supporting us. We appreciate it. The show's been a great show the last couple of years. We love it here, and I think you all want it to come back. Well, next year's dates are going to be just a bit different for just next year, but it's going to be August 21st and 22nd. So get that on your calendar. We're bringing the show back. You know, we appreciate it. We've had a great time here, so thank all you fans for supporting us. Ricky and Brenda, my wife Penny, we appreciate it. We'll see you here next year. Enjoy the show tonight.
Well, there you have it, race fans. We will be back next year here at Maquoketa Speedway, August 21st and 22nd. Thank you so much to the Hokers and the Kais for making this all possible, and we are very excited to return once more in 2026. And race fans, I ask that you please rise if you are able and remove your hats. And here to give tonight's invocation, Mr. Eric Becker.
Please bow your heads and pray with me. Our Father in heaven, we want to thank you for the many blessings that you've bestowed upon us. Lord, we thank you for Steve and Amanda Francis and the World of Outlaws and their crew and staff. We thank you for Brenda and Ricky Kai and all their hard work that they've done on the facility and the track preparation. We thank you for Jeff and Penny Hoker and all they've done and contributed to the sport which we love. Lord, we thank you for the drivers, their crews, the car owners, and most important, we thank you for the fans who without them, this sport could not be possible. We ask that you reach your arms around Maquoketa Speedway and just send a blanket of safety for all the crews, officials, fans, and drivers tonight, Lord. And most of all, we thank you for your son, Jesus Christ, who came down from heaven to die on the cross to cover our shortcomings so that those who believe in him and take him up can spend eternity with him. We thank you for this country, and we thank you for the freedoms that we get to enjoy this sport, and for all the people that fought and died for us to enjoy them freedoms. I ask you and thank you for this many blessings in Jesus' name. Amen.
Thank you so much, Eric. And fans, please remain standing. And here to sing tonight's national anthem, the lead singer of Flatbed 4, Mr. Matt Stein.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Thank you so much to both Eric and Matt, as well as Ricky and Brenda Kai, Jeff and Penny Hoker, for the exciting news that the World of Outlaw Real American Beer Late Models are returning in 2026 right here to Maquoketa Speedway. But right now, it's time to kick off the racing action.
Thank you very much, Ashton. Jason, we have IMCA stock cars up first, my friend.
Qualifying heat race number 1 set to make its way onto the speedway. We'll take the top 3 out of each of these 4 qualifying heat races into the redraw for tonight's A main. We'll fill it out with a B main last chance showdown to give our 24-car starting field. QC Autoplex IMCA stock car heat race number 1 going to line up something similar to this. On the pole to be Jake Ellithorpe from right here in the big city. The 72 car is outside. It'll be David Brandes out of Wilton in 71. Row number 2 on the inside. It'll be Braden Richards out of Madrid, Iowa. The 11R is outside out of Muskego, Wisconsin. The 5 is Tucker Bodendorfer. Row number 3 on the inside. It'll be Dustin Viss out of Martell, Iowa in 20V. To his outside, Trevor Tucker right here in Maquoketa in 11T. Bone Larson behind the wheel of Timmy Current's litter box, the driver out of Freeport, Illinois. To his outside will be Gage Neal out of Anamosa in 12N, and Austin Vorbeck rounding out your starting field. Heat race number 1 QC Autoplex IMCA stock cars. 31 of them signed into the pit area here tonight. We'll whittle them down to 24. That's what will start our A main feature event here tonight. The Hawkeye 100. QC Autoplex bringing you the IMCA stock cars here at the Jackson County Bull Ring, the Maquoketa Speedway, as we get set to go officially. The Whelen Engineering caution lights are out, and we're working our way down towards the start zone in turns 3 and 4. That's where things get hot and heavy. Ellithorpe on the hammer. We're underway. Side by side, going to work our way down into turns 1 and 2. Brandy's an advantage on the top side, going to wheel and deal down the back straightaway. 3 wide, stair-stepped and staggered off into turns 3 and 4. Brandy's going to lead us back on the initial lap. 1 down in the books, 7 to go. Brandy's, Ellithorpe, Braden Richards, your top 3 qualified redraw cars as she goes in the early. Gage Neal started in the 8th spot. He's cut it in half, now working on the number 4 position. The Iceman, Dustin Viss, to his right flank as we head him off of turn number 4. Brandy's, Ellithorpe, and Richards still your top 3 qualified cars. 2 scored, 6 to go. Mover and Groover on the speedway. The muffler pose, Mover and Groover. The 12N of Gage Neal as he'll overtake the number 4 position. Headed down into turns 3 and 4. Brandy's high, wide, and handsome on the top side. Working us towards the halfway point in this one. Good battle for the spot on the outside looking in. The 4th position, Gage Neal, and the Iceman, Dustin Viss, slicing and dicing. Headed down into turns 3 and 4. Working the cushion, the halfway point, this time by 4, scored 4 to go. Brandy stretching out your race lead. The 72 of Ellithorpe still rocking along in the number 2 spot. Not a great entry to turn number 1. He'll look to rally down the back straightaway. Richards and Neal, 3 and 4 respectively on the speedway. 3 to go, this time by high speed, low drag. Working here at the Maquoketa Speedway. Top 2 starting to break away. That battle for the final redraw spot starting to shape up. Headed off into turns 3 and 4. We're going to see the green flag high up into the wind. This time by 2 to go. Brandy's, Ellithorpe, Richards, and Neal. That's your top 4. 3 go dancing in the redraw. Gage Neal, multi-time track champion here at the Maquoketa Speedway, working on getting himself a qualified spot. He'll give a looky-loo to the inside of Braden Richards. White Laundry hanging to the clothesline. 1 to go. Not going to happen on this time. We'll head them back into turns 1 and 2. Top 2 cars getting away. Neal and Richards side by side. Headed down the back straightaway. 1 final chance to dance. Down into turns 3 and 4. 3 cars headed to the redraw. Who's it going to be? Braden Richards going to be the final car. The 3rd spot goes to the 11R out of Madrid. 2nd spot to Ellithorpe. In 72, your heat race winner joins us out of Wilton, Iowa. How about it for David Brandes? Action-packed heat race number 1 comes to a close. We'll do it 4 times. Heat race number 2 set to make its way out onto the speedway with a lineup that looks something similar to this. On the pole, the 20T machine from just up the road in Bernard. It's little Timmy Current to his outside from way up the road in Belmont, Wisconsin. The 61 belongs to Scott Rickers. Row number 2 on the inside from way up the road. Beaver Dam, Wisconsin's Brandon Schmidt, 20S. And to his outside it'll be Carmen Cliff, Illinois' Perry Gellerstadt, Pepe, behind the wheel of 39. 3rd row on the inside, it'll be Keegan Wells out of Wilton in 23W. To his outside, they call him the Flying Bomb Pop. He comes to us out of Menlo, Iowa. It's Micaiah Heidelbaugh in 72H. 4th row down low. Mitch Morris out of the big city of McCausland and M80. To his outside, Muscatines, Iowa's Greg Gill. And Jerry Miles, the ageless wonder in his 40th year behind the wheel. Going to start shotgun here, the short straw in heat race number 2. So we'll kick the caution lights out down the back straightaway, get set to go under the green. 8 laps, the distance, top 3. Headed on into tonight's A main by way of the redraw. Timmy Current, multiple-time track champion and a hometown hero here at the Maquoketa Speedway, bringing us to life. Whoopsie-daisy on the start from your pole sitter. We'll take him 3 wide off of turn 2, headed down the back straightaway, pair of 20s. Working hard with Scott Rickers in 61. Headed off into turns 3 and 4. We'll look to lead lap number 1 to the top side. It's Timmy Current, 20T. Good looking battle side by side for the 2nd and 3rd spot. Schmidt going to slide up over the beak of the 61 cars. We cruise them down the back straightaway. Side by side, 4 wide headed off into turns 3 and 4. That's still a spot short. Got to get to the top 3, and here comes Jerry Miles. Crafty veteran out of the big city of Bernard. The caution works for the first time here tonight. Tricks Utility System caution flag going to wiggle for the first time here this evening. So we get caution of the speedway. Looks like debris down the back straightaway. Safety crew going to gather it up. Replay coming here. For those of you watching us live on DIRTVision, we got all sorts of 4 wide headed down the back straightaway. Something had to give, and a chunk of plastic or something fell off the back of the 72 car. Crack shot safety crew taking care of it. We'll miss nothing. Back to the green the next time by. Delaware double file on the restart. Once we've got laps scored and completion, your race leader in 20T, Timmy Current, will go 2 by 2 doubled up behind him. The 2nd place car has the choice whether to fire off from the inside or the outside of the first double file row. That's Brandon Schmidt, the 20 with an S. He'll elect to go from the outside. Scott Rickers will get the leftovers, and it's heads up 2 by 2 from there on back to the tail of the field. Currently, we're keeping our eye on the Muffler Pros mover and shaker in the 4 machine. Jerry Miles started shotgun the field in the 9 hole, now working in the 4th position. So the caution lights out will bring them down into the start zone In turns 3 and 4, we'll turn them back loose, looking for 6 more here at heat race number 2. Current going to bob to the bottom, down through turns 1 and 2, slide it up to the top side. Brandon Schmidt crossing sauce. Here they come down the back straightaway. Thought better of it as it worked on towards turns 3 and 4. You got him 3 wide for the bubble position, headed towards the halfway point. This one, 3 laps score to the books, 5 laps to go. Your top 2 getting away. Miles up into a qualified spot. Keep an eye on 4. Keegan Wells trying to work his way back into a qualified position. The halfway point going to go this time by 4. In the books, 4 to go. Current, Schmidt, Miles, top 3 headed into the redraw. Single file working down the back straightaway, ripping the lip here. The high bank quarter mile of Maquoketa Speedway. This time it'll be 3 laps to go. Battle on the racetrack right now, maybe for the number 4 spot. Greg Gill thinking about a looky-loo on the inside of Keegan Wells in 23W. Miles starting to fall back now into the grass with the 23, looking to come to call. Big swing for Mitch Morrison, 80. Didn't work out for him. He'll fall to the tail of the field. He'll gather it back together. We'll stay green to the white flag flying. This time by 1 last chance to dance. Pair of 20s leading the way. Timmy Current, Brandon Schmidt, Jerry Miles, top 3 headed to the redraw as she goes. 1 to go. Cruising down the back straightaway, 1 final time, headed into turns 3 and 4. Pointer towards the flag stand, smasher to the wood. Timmy Current pick it up, heat race number 2. Brandon Schmidt going to come home in the number 2 spot. The 3rd position, the final redraw spot goes to Jerry Miles in the 4 car. As we wrap up heat race number 2, QC Autoplex IMCA stock cars. Roll it over the scales to make it official. Again, the top 3 cars making their way into the redraw for tonight's A main. We get set to kick onto the Speedway heat race number 3. So heat race number 3 making its way onto the Speedway. He'll roll for the pole, the 24H machine out of Oshkosh, Wisconsin. That's Presley Harrington to his outside. Out of Lost Nation, Iowa, the 25 belongs to Andrew Shelf. Row 2 on the inside, Clay Hawkeye out of Erie, Illinois. The 7Z to his outside, Brandon Vorbeck from right here in the big city in B78. Row 3 on the inside, it'll be Tanner Allen out of Springville and Double Deuce to his outside. Buzz Cade Wells in 23K. He hails from Wilton, Iowa. 4th and final on the inside, the 28X out of Dike, Iowa. It's Rhett Amon to his outside. Jeff Bodendorfer out of Waterford, Wisconsin in 95. 8 laps, 3 to the redraw as we get set to bring them into the start zone. Heat race number 3 is underway. Harrington going to climb the ladder to the top shelf and work him off at turn 2, headed down the back straightaway. Shelf right there, big wiggle. As we'll work down into turns 3 and 4, we've got ourselves a cluster down the back straightaway, headed off into 3 and 4 with the caution flag quickly. Rhett Amon chewed up and spit out. The 28X machine headed the wrong direction. Little contact as we see the DIRTVision replay. And the contact down the back straightaway between a couple of cars. And one getting left in the lost and found. Rhett Amon, the 28X car, Dike, Iowa driver. Safety crew going to give him a little love shove, get him fired back off. He'll look to tag the tail of the field. So 1 lap officially scored in the books. It'll be Delaware double file when we bring them back to life. Presley Harrington scored as your race leader, the 24H, the youngster out of Oshkosh, Wisconsin. Andrew Shelf and the Double Deuce of Tanner Allen rounding out your top 3 qualified cars as she goes. Still lots of time left in the hourglass here. Heat race number 3 of 4. QC Autoplex IMCA stock cars. Tricks Utility Services caution flag getting its 2nd workout of the night. Beautiful looking crowd here tonight, near capacity, if I were so bold to say. Not a lot of seat and room left here, and a whole pile of SRO down under the volunteer hall. We get set to go back underway. 1 lap score to the books, 7 to go. Presley Harrington set to get on the hammer. We're back underway. Skirt him off into turns 1 and 2. Dive bomb for the double deuce. He'll try to keep to the inside of the 25. Elbows up. Headed off into turns 3 and 4. The 25 going to rejoin the field down the back straightaway. Tanner Allen doing a little bullying as we work them back to turns 1 and 2. 2 laps score to the books. 6 to go. Your top 2 out front breaking away. Brandon Vorbeck working in that final transfer position in a 3-wide battle behind him. Headed down the back straightaway. Shelf to the inside of Bodendorfer. Fuzzwell's going to get the short end of that stick as we work towards the halfway point in this one. 3 score to the books, 5 laps to go, and your race leader is in another county. Presley Harrington out of Oshkosh, Wisconsin, the 24 machine moving and grooving out front. Halfway point right here, 4 scored, 4 to go. Tanner Allen working in the number 2 spot in a good battle here for that final transfer position as we go double box, working down into turns 1 and 2. Vorbs hanging on to it. Andrew Shelf cracking the whip as we head to turns 3 and 4. 3 to go this time by your race leader. Nothing missing there. Second spot, got her in spades. The battle on the speedway for that final redraw position. Brandon Vorbeck on the top side. Andrew Shelf trying to work him over on the inside. 2 to go right here for your race leaders. Good side-by-side action down into turns 3 and 4. 2 good lanes of racing here at the Maquoketa Speedway. Vorby still hanging on to your transfer spot as we'll work to the white flag wiggling this time by 1 last chance to dance. Harrington in the 24, the double deuce of Tanner Allen, 25 of Andrew Shelf, trying to put the moves to the inside of the B78. He'll do it right here. Vorb's going to take a look under the skirt of the 25 machine as we skitter him down the back straightaway one final time. Your race leader now, your race winner, Presley Harrington. Tanner Allen coming home in the number 2 spot. Third, if he can hang on to it, Andrew Shelf. Maybe a tick tight there in the exit, but he'll hold on for the final redraw position into tonight's A main. Heat race number 3 comes to a close. Heat race number 4 staged up, ready to rock and roll here tonight. Racetrack cleaning off, really starting to come to it. The 4th and final qualifying heat race for your QC Autoplex IMCA stock car is going to line up something similar to this. On the pole, it'll be Austin Miners out of Polk City, Iowa. To his outside, it's Casey Ansel out of Dubuque in 81. Road 2 on the inside, Joe Z, Long Grove, Iowa driver, Joe Zroslik. And to his outside, it'll be Jack Hockaday out of Erie, Illinois in 7. Third row down low, the Cody Miles pilots the car number 4K. He's out of Bernard, Iowa. To his outside, they call him the Chelsea Charger. It's Damon Murdy in 99D. Final row on the inside, Sean Claps Jr., the 34 junior. He's out of La Crosse, Wisconsin. And Casey Shillum, the short straw here tonight. He'll start shotgun heat race number 4. 4th and final qualifying heat race. The final 3 cars going to make the redraw for tonight's A main. That'll give us our first 12 starters. We'll look for another 12 through our B main processes as we work our way down towards the Hoker Logistics start zone in turns 3 and 4. Austin Miners gonna get up on the skinny pedal. Oh boy, hot and heavy. Headed down into turns number 1. Joe Z got a little aggressive there. Admonished as we work them down into turns 3 and 4. Side by side over your top 4 cars. Here comes the Chelsea Charger. Charging on the top side, give him 2. Headed down into turns 1 and 2. 1 lap score to the books. Damon Murdy working the top side of the speedway. Got caught up with Cody Miles. They're going to drive her deep, sell her cheap. Working to the top spot. You got a new race leader. It's Damon Murdy. Damon Murdy, Cody Miles, and Austin Miners. Your top 3, Casey Ansel and Casey Shillum. Side by side for 4th and 5th of the speedway. Jack Hockaday routed out your top 5 cars. Now we'll work them. The 3 lap score to the books, 5 to go. Damon Murdy, Cody Miles, Austin Miners. That's the 3. Headed to the redraw as she goes. Good looking battle here. Miles, a good run. Headed down to the inside of your race leader. Looky Lou. Slide him up, give him room. Halfway home this time by 4, scored 4 to go. Hockaday's got big troubles. He'll lose big spots. Casey Ansel out there looking like the barbecue truck behind the main grandstand. 3 laps to go. Nothing changed in your top 3. 5 scored. 3 laps remain. Damon Murdy, Cody Miles, Austin Miners spread out evenly across the back straightaway. Green flag going to go high up into the wind this time by. It's going to be 6 scored in the books. 2 laps to go. Damon Murdy out front, the Chelsea Charger. No stranger to the Maquoketa Speedway. Fast every time he shows up. White flag set to wiggle this time by. 1 to go. Cody Miles not going away. Working their lockstep with your race leader as we'll head them off at 2 down the back straightaway 1 final time into turns 3 and 4. Dive bomb coming. Miles going to sling it up over his shoulder, give him a looky-loo. Here comes Murdy back to the inside. He'll close it out. Heat race number 4. Just like that. Coming over the top spot, it'll be Damon Murdy in 99D. Second spot to Cody Miles in a heavyweight battle. Your race third spot headed on into tonight's redraw for the A main will be the 8 machine of Austin Miners. Top 3 closing out just like that. They'll head them over the scales to make it official. And we are wrapped up qualifying heat races for your QC Autoplex IMCA stock cars. I think it's time to get busy, get loud, do what we all came here to do. Let's qualify some late model cars, Ruben.
Absolutely. Thank you very much, Jason. 4 heat races coming up for the World of Outlaws. Eight laps the distance, top 4 transfer, and the top 2 to the all-important top 8 redraw here this evening as we get ready for Real American Beer heat race number 1, presented by Fisher Farms. Here's your starting lineup on the inside of the front.